Hello, my name's Tyler. You may remember me from such iconic Quidditch moments as this.
Oh, and that is a catch from number 100 for Yorkshire.
And this.
Ah, jeez. I never hang out with him, normally.
But I'm not here for that. I'm here because I'm going up to Northern Quidditch tournament this weekend, and I'm not competing for the first time in my Quidditch career, and I thought, you know, I want to document the event itself, you know, get behind and see the people that run it, the people that play it, everything that holds it together, the glue, everything, you know. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to achieve by doing this. I'm not sure what sort of questions or issues that I'll ask and raise, but we can only find out in this messy structure. So yeah, let's get to it. Right, made it to Sheffield. I think before, you know, I get going ahead with day one and all the coverage of that, I think I'll just walk through some of the narratives and some of the possible, I don't want to say storylines, but there's sort of reports that can happen first day of Northerns. A lot of people are saying, you know, Megalodons, for anyone who doesn't know, that's Raptors' second team there. They're expecting to do really well, even somehow place on the medal contenders list. I think they could do it. I mean, I don't see why not. And what sort of bragging rights would they have been saying, you know, our first ever real competition, we've gone on and won the whole thing, and that's just our second team. Imagine what our first can do. Also, you know, I've got a little bit of a soft spot. Stones was on them for a Dev Cup of this year, and that they managed to scrag all sorts of rogues and little strangers here to get a team together. So I would see them like to at least put up some points. If they don't win, they don't win, but you know, I'd like to see them get a little cold catch like my boy Arcady from last year, holding it down for Sheffield thirds against Raptors. Legendary. I know a few hidden gems here and there, you know, I want Nottingham to do well. I think the Nightmares can pull a few upsets here and there and that. And obviously, you know, being Sheffield, being my first team and all that, giving me all the love and support they did, doing bits, helping build the house and the foundations of the club. I'd like to see them, get all 3 wins in the first day. If not, at least match their run they had last year. 2 wins out of 3 on the first day. So yeah, hope things go well, and let's have a go.
Ooh-wee. Beautiful day for me. Let's get it. Alright, so it's day 1, numero uno, and not gonna lie, November, it's a pretty bloody good day playing Quidditch. Actually sort of makes me want to play it, but then again, nah, I'm still not up for 6 in the morning ting and waking up and maybe not even being picked, but wait and see. We'll try and chat with all the lovely people, and let's make a go of it. Also, real quick, man has just walked to Rotherham. Well, I knew they were close, but I didn't know they were that close, so fuck me. Right, Harry here, he's just been finished playing for Steel Fins. How did that go for you then, Harry?
It was pretty good. We were against Raptors, who were probably the best team in the tournament, but we managed to get some good runs in and get a couple of tackles, so I feel pretty good about it.
Can you take positives from massive defeats? Obviously in general sports and that, big losses you get the team down on morale, but how does that reflect in Quidditch, would you say?
You know, we went into that, we kind of knew we weren't going to win the game, but we looked at it as these are the best people who play Quidditch, so let's see what they're doing and try and work out how to improve, learn from them, you know. Okay. So it wasn't necessarily we were going into it wanting to win, we wanted to learn more about how best to play.
So they are a top quality team there. They could be considered the best in the country. Do you think there is a talent divide or a development divide between the north and the south?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't get to interact with 17s that much apart from DQC, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I feel like, because Quidditch is so close knit, tactics and stuff like get spread around pretty easily. I think, yeah, it's pretty even.
What's your plan for the rest of the day? What's Steel Finn's plan for the rest of the day?
I'm working as a timekeeper later, so got to get ready for that, and then we've got 2 more games as well. So right now probably just sit down and get a rest.
Alright man, you deserved it. Thank you very much. Okay, now we have Honey with us here. How do you feel about playing for Manchester then, and generally in the north itself, the north region?
Yeah, I think so far for me it has been great. I've been playing for Manchester for 2 years now. I started last year, and yeah, it's been great, really great. Great experience for me.
Have you had any other previous club or national experience with other Quidditch clubs yourself? Is it only Manchester, or does it broaden out?
So I played recently in the 2018 World Cup. I played for Team Malaysia. I'm from Malaysia, and yeah, and other than that, yeah, I played for Manchester. And
how did Malaysia get on? Because unfortunately I wasn't able to watch the World Cup.
so how did they do in the World Cup?
Yes.
So it was really great because like last year was the first time that Malaysia ever sent a team to the World Cup, and so we managed to get to the finals of lower bracket, but we lost to, I can't remember who we lost to, so yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Alright, so it was good to be a flag bearer for your country and to represent the nation.
Well, I guess. Yeah, I hope like okay, I'm sorry.
No, you can take pride in it, it's fine. You might as well. Here we have Fraser, who I actually didn't know beforehand was born in Hong Kong, hence why he played for Hong Kong at the World Cup. What was that experience like then? Because I feel, have Hong Kong been represented before at the World Cup? Or?
Oh, it was a phenomenal experience for me personally, because it was the first time that Hong Kong had ever competed internationally. 2 years, last World Cup, it was just a dream in my head, the captain's head, and then the World Cup got announced in Florence. We were like, should we make the team? Yes, let's make it, and then we got people together, made the team, and yeah, it turned out pretty well. I was very proud of the players' effort. Really kind of represented where we're from, and it was an incredible experience trying to sort of coach a load of new players and over a course of a week. It's always going to be an uphill battle because we're one of the smallest kind of teams competing at the tournament in terms of players available. So we kind of lacked a lot of experience. We lost lots of games, but did win against Finland, which was a phenomenal win. And then we also beat Slovakia. 2 absolute brilliant memories from the tournament. Finished 25th out of 29 in the world, which really, like, for us, not finishing last was a major plus. So incredibly happy,
Now, if I'm going to use the term correctly, you are a seasoned vet for Southampton.
That's
now
right.
you have been there for the previous 3 years, moving back home. Why choose Manchester? Is it more of a distance thing, or do you like the vibe of the club?
So it's a bit of a few things. Firstly, my kind of life schedule fitting around Quidditch, it very much suits where I am based. It's my closest team. And also, yeah, I really enjoyed being part of the club. There's kind of a good bond amongst everyone, and at this point in my career I'm looking more into kind of coaching and mentoring players and improving people other than myself. So Manchester kind of gave me that opportunity to kind of nurture some upcoming talent and improve a team that's on the up. Whereas if I joined a more experienced team, say a community team, I wouldn't have had that opportunity and I would just be myself as a player. So sort of the development and then kind of the culture of the club, I find really exciting.
I don't want to doom or gloom or anything. Do you see yourself winding down or going into the coaching role, or is it more, I'm not sure how to say, is it more wanting to get the amount of play time you desire?
So first of all, I love Quidditch, I love the sport, I love playing, and I will play basically until I can't anymore, until either I don't have the time or I'm too injured or whatever, I will keep playing for as long as possible. But in terms of my career, I've won various different sort of medals, titles, of national, regional, European level. I don't need the personal glory at this point. So for me, I absolutely love coaching. I'm really passionate about bringing up new talent in this sport. I think that's what we need as a whole to improve. So if I can sort of pass on the knowledge I've gained over my sort of 4 years of playing, then it's going to be much more beneficial to the collective rather than the individual himself.
Now would you say, obviously you've been playing for both regions, North and South, do you say there's a difference in play style, or does it lean more one way that there's better coaching and development, or is it a club by club basis?
Generally it's like club by club, and obviously certain clubs will have more experienced players and kind of sort of more talent generally. I mean, you can't really fault sort of athletic ability and genetics. I'll say, it's funny enough, obviously in the UK, I think the weather plays quite a big part. The weather's slightly better in the south generally, so it allows them to kind of play a more expansive game, both in terms of passing and shooting. So in the north there's quite a lot of what I call drive heavy games, sort of 1 or 2 players trying to run straight and fast as possible to the hoops, which doesn't always work. You need to have sort of lots of different threats to your game to be a complete team. So yeah, there's a few teams, certainly in the north, I think kind of lack that all-round game, that all-round threat. But I wouldn't say they're much further behind. As the tournament's proving today, there's some good teams and some good talent. It's just a case of getting the right practice and improving the skills necessary to be up at the top level.
Right, and finally, what is your plans and Manchester's plans for the rest of this tournament?
So we're going pretty well so far. Won our first 2 games, day 1. Hoping to win following 2 games so we finish top of our group and then go on to rapid play tomorrow. The goal is to qualify for the European qualifying tournament in January, so if we finish in the top 5 here, we will then qualify for that. And then once we get to that tournament, the goal is then, if we get there, would be to then qualify either for EQC Division 1 or EQC Division 2, compete on the European level, which would be a fantastic club. It's never been done before by any Manchester team, so I'd love to be a part of that group if it gets there. Otherwise, just playing intelligently, playing good Quidditch, improving as we go, and well, PQC at the end of the year, peaking right in time for that, and playing our best Quidditch and just having a very good year. Sort of playing in a way that we can be proud of.
Alright, I wish you the best of luck with that.
No, thank you very much.
Okay, who do we have here? Introduce yourself.
I'm Leo. I'm playing for Leeds Griffins, and I've been playing it for 1 year, and I'm a chess.
What made you get into Quidditch, and how did you end up playing with Leeds? Is there any previous experience?
No, so it's very funny. One day I was just walking around the field they were playing, and then I saw these guys playing. So I saw the hoops first, and I was really interested to know what they were playing. I just went to them and I saw a couple of them. I talked to them, and they said why not give it a try? I just went for it and I just loved it. It's something really cool. I just loved it.
Nice. And is Leeds the only team you've played for, or do you have previous experience?
No, that's the only team.
The only team? Okay. And how do you feel you're getting on at the club itself?
I'm loving it actually. I'm really loving it. Everything about Quidditch is kind of really interesting. So yeah.
Okay. Do you feel the playing and the play style, the development of talent is stronger in the north compared to the south?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. I don't have a specific answer for that. I think it's almost the same. It depends more on the coaches and the kind of team culture you have rather than north and south. So there are some teams that follow a proper, they have good players that train new players every year. So it depends more on the teams, I guess.
So it's an individual
I
basis,
think so.
Sure.
Not more than being north or south.
And what's your plan for the next couple of days of the tournament and for Leeds in general?
Just give my best shot at the game for next days, and for Leeds in general, I'll be playing for 1 or 2 more years because I got 2 more years. So yeah, I'll try to develop myself, improve my skills, enjoy Quidditch as much as I could.
As the first day drew to a close, I was eager to see how each team and individual would kick into a higher gear in order to achieve those coveted European competition spots. There was also the uneasy sense that some teams would face an inevitable rough exit from the tournament, either from exhaustion, dwindling roster size, or not maintaining a chemistry-defining morale that would spur them on. Either way, Day 2 was built to be eventful. With the arrival of Day 2, I continued to scope out the remaining hopefuls who were filled with excitement, dread or injury. To some, it would be an achievement just to compete, but for others, a semi-final or medal position was the ultimate goal. The final day was truly where the serious and the playful mixed.
Alright, I'm joined by Sam Buck here, who's really one of the sort of hidden gems who's flown under the radar, but now everyone's sort of realising what sort of skill set he has now he's joined Megs. So how did that go about? Were you formally scouted, or did you go and approach the Raptors team?
So I actually originally signed up on the Megs form as kind of a joke, but then it was a costume cup I was playing. I'd actually just got a yellow card for kicking into hands, and then Jay came up and approached me and said, "I think you'd do really well on Megs. I think you could really improve." So yeah, I was considering over, I wasn't quite sure, but then I went to one of the training sessions and it was really good fun. And so yeah, never looked back really.
No, you have just been part of Northern Quidditch for most of, if not all of your Quidditch career. Have you noticed any different ways that, I don't know, compared to the North and the South, that they develop their players or in a play style, or is it just very much a club-on-club basis?
I think it's a club-on-club basis. I think the South tends to be a bit more passing, especially teams like LQC do a lot of passing. The new team, Southampton have historically done quite a lot of passing I've seen, and Werewolves have some great around the hoops passing and shooting.
So you've come from Sheffield are a very reputable club, but compared to the top 4 clubs, I'd say they're more mid-table, if you put it in a sort of Premier League sense. Would you prefer being in a team that gives you a big fish, small pond mentality, or do you prefer trying to work and fight for your place in the team?
I'm honestly not, like, as long as I can get some amount of pitch time, I'm not that bothered, but also it's just the training I get. Raptors training is a lot more intense, it's a lot more game focused and a lot more focused on skills. So you play 3 games where there's only 10 people on a team. So you've always got to be on, and they're full contact. They're not scrimmage which other uni clubs might play where they're a bit it's full contact and then they go into drills. And then also the full day format really helps. You can work on something in the morning and then in the afternoon.
Do you see yourself going back to a uni team, or is it a community from here on out?
It depends what I'm doing, honestly. And if I continue doing okay in Megalodons, I think I'll probably stay with Megalodons and then see what happens. Just because of the coaching. I do love being part of a uni team. It's great, and I love the frequent trainings and the players there. But I feel that from Raptors, being with Lucy Q, Bill Orridge and Dan Trick, the quality of coaching is just so high. I can't really afford to leave it now. I want to continue to get better.
No, I did want to address one issue. I feel like I should have some sort of hot button topic whilst making this documentary. You yourself, have you noticed any sort of lack of diversity within the Quidditch culture? And I mean, if you have, is there a way of fixing it or promoting it better, would you say?
I am not in any way qualified for this, but I think it does tend to be quite a lot of white, probably the typical university people, white middle class people who tend to play. I can't think of any solutions of how to fix that. It's not an easy question, and it's a question that people much more qualified than me are suited for.
Yeah, fair enough. And finally,
what is your plan for the rest of this tournament for yourself and for the new Megalodons?
Plan is have fun, win, hope to get to the finals to face Raptors. We sort of won our group now, so we've won 3 games and everyone else has lost one, so that's good for us. And just going to try and get to the finals, play as hard as we can, play as well as we can, also have fun at the same time.
I'm sure you'd look better with a medal around your neck rather than a camera. I had reached the point of making this documentary where I felt it was necessary to inject a serious and somewhat heated question, one about an open secret that was seen as somewhat swept under the rug by the Quidditch community. Now the sort of hot button question through when I'm getting through this documentary is, I feel myself that it's not talked about as much, but I feel there's a lack of diversity in Quidditch. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Do you believe there is one, and if so, what's the way of fixing it?
I think like there is not enough like diversity. I think that's mainly because like it's not very popular like in countries like Asian countries, because I come from India, so I had never heard of Quidditch before apart from Harry Potter. So actually like I heard like someone talk about Quidditch before, like during one of the meetings, like when I met this random person, I thought he was making fun of me. So it's kind of like we don't know like what Quidditch is. So when they hear like, even like I talked to like a couple of my Chinese friends about like Quidditch, so what they do is like they don't know what Quidditch is. So that's the problem, I think. Like they are like reluctant to come, but once they start playing, like they get an opportunity to just give it a try, I'm sure they'll start loving it.
Yeah, like I would say there is kind of a lack of diversity within the sport. It's mainly kind of middle class, white, generally male as well. I think that's kind of, you look at the sort of demographics of where we recruit players from, it's mostly from universities, and that's kind of the majority group amongst universities. Obviously it's not always the case, and like I do like to see more diversity. I'm not going to preach and sort of say I know exactly how we're going to bring that about, but at the end of the day, like Quidditch is this kind of new sport. It's all about equality and kind of allowing everybody to play together, so everybody and anybody is welcome. Doesn't matter sort of colour of your skin, your gender, whatever, size, body ability, doesn't matter. Everyone should come and play, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's you know, you'd be blind if you pretended there wasn't. If you pretended, oh no, I don't see the fact that 95% of our players are white. You know, we are remarkably good on inclusivity. A huge portion of our players are non-male. A huge portion are LGBTQ. We're really the standard bearer in a lot of ways. But with that achievement comes a responsibility to recognise when we're not doing well enough. Now, I don't have a magic answer to getting more non-white people involved in the sport, and I think anyone who says that they do is lying. Mainly because they're white themselves. This is never going to help. You know, the ideas aren't really going to come from them, but I think there's got to be a better way than what's currently happening, where organisations don't talk about it and don't acknowledge it and leave it as a kind of elephant in the room. You know, it's going to be tough and it's going to be difficult, and I'm not sure whether it's achievable to boost recruitment of BME players, but there's got to be a start, and that start comes from acknowledging it. With the Quidditch Premier League, I personally quite wanted our 2018 charity to be one that promoted BME inclusion in sports as a kind of way of acknowledging that we had a lot to do and a lot to learn from and a lot to do that, and unfortunately that didn't quite come to fruition, so we're hoping that we can kind of work on it in the next season coming up, whether that's through an official charity partnership or through other campaigns. You know, we've done very well with things like This Girl Can and boosted inclusion through that, so I think there's definitely something to be said for that strategy. But you know, on the whole, I think organisations need to be far more realistic about the fact that they're really not pitching to everyone they could be, and ultimately it's a detriment to them.
I am not in any way qualified for this, but I think it does tend to be quite a lot of white, probably the typical university people, like white middle class people who tend to play. I can't think of any solutions of how to fix that? It's not an easy question, and it's a question that people much more qualified than me are suited for.
I don't think I can see much because I've only been doing Quidditch for 2 years, but I can see that the diversity is improving since last year. That we have like a lot of, we have more involvement, more participation from other ethnicity, obviously, but it's something that we can improve on. And how we go around that, I'll suggest maybe just a little bit more promoting it to a bigger sense of community.
Yeah, I think like if you look around, it is noticeable. I don't know how to improve it. I think part of it is related to a lot of the way people get into Quidditch is through watching the Harry Potter films, which was like more popular in Western countries, but in terms of getting people into the sport, maybe just marketing it like more to minority groups and like going and finding them, like talk to them about Quidditch.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, because it's predominantly a university sport, and I know predominantly universities are filled with Caucasian people. There's a lot of I've read it's called the BAME background, so Black Asian Minority. I don't know what the E stands for, but it's that sort of background that isn't really sort of targeted to university students. So I think a lot of those people from those backgrounds don't get the chance to go to universities that they should, and because it has grown from university level, I think that's why it is mainly a white sport, but it would be great to see more people of colour play.
Whether Quidditch will reach a broader racial demographic still remains to be seen, but whatever is chosen as a concept to improve this cannot just be for a quick fix. It must be carefully constructed and laid if it is to draw in steady numbers of future talent. However, despite this, Quidditch still remains an open, united community, ready to show all the positives of its niche. Alright, I'm now joined by you fucking little cunts.